Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. 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 It's me. Wow. Sorry, I'm still getting set up. I just got done eating dinner. And what did I have for dinner? You may be asking yourself. Well, I'll tell you. Rice and an omelet. And green beans. So, pretty much like the most basic of dinners possible. Hits all the major food groups. Is mostly just like shove a bunch of things into a pot. Pray for the best. Well, at least for the rice and the green beans. I like to think I'm pretty good at cooking any sort of egg-based dish. I guess I've never made a quiche before, but I'm not really into baking. All right. So let's see. All right, we're set up. I was messing with Godot 4 stuff earlier, and here we are. I guess we're just gonna get started. Wow. Look at that. Let me see. Is my bot still connected to Twitch chat? I'm pretty sure I know why my bot gets kicked from Twitch chat. Is because every now and then Twitch chat will refresh itself. My bot used to automatically reconnect, but I haven't updated the dependencies in a while. Like, it's been redeploying with basically the same build every single time. And Twitch might have changed something on their end. So here we are. Let's see. I've already written a project manager before for Godot, which enabled different binaries to be used for, or to be, decided at project open time, which is pretty sick. But that was written with Godot 3.2 or something, like a while ago, really. So let's try it with Godot 4. Let's try it with Godot 4. And this version of Godot 4 does use some of my custom code, although I really should be moving this over to GD extensions. I guess for the Godot 4 beta, GD script will not be implemented as a GD extension, as was postulated before in a tweet. So let me see. We have a few new things. I know that in Godot. So, for example, this time, which is a singleton, get time dictionary. What does the string look like? Oh, you know what? Get time string from system. That's probably good enough, right? So we can do bum 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 bum. What am I doing? Slap that in there. That's wrong because it's pulled from the singleton. Okay. Well, hopefully that's good enough, right? Yeah, look at that. Okay, app manager, that's pretty much good enough, because that's all we really need it for right now, is like a handle on the status bar. And then this gets consumed by main, right? But we just need to have this always available, which is why we kind of do it like, I don't know, like this. I don't know how to describe it. So let me see. Projects. So where we are right now is I do want to emulate how Godot does its UI thing here. I'm just going to drag this up. So we'll just be looking at it. So I do have the buttons set up properly, more or less. I don't see the point in having an edit button, I guess. You know what? I should add an edit button. It doesn't add anything of value in my opinion when you could just double click, but maybe some people struggle with double clicking. I get it. You have like some sort of carpal tunnel or whatnot. Alright, so I'm also missing a few. Okay, so edit, pressed. I do like this feature. So basically every day we stray closer and closer to Python, which is fine with me. Python is all right. The ability to pass around functions as callables. Basically every function is now a first class object. I think that's a good feature. So there's edit, there's run. All of these kind of depend on, oh, hello, Needle Mouse. All of these things depend on having a Godot binary set up. So we can do that via settings. Godot has the concept of local projects and asset library projects, but whatever. I think this is fine. It looks ugly, but mostly because I'm not sure what's going on with the tab container. Is this what the main.theme looks like? Yeah, I guess it's kind of borked for tabs, huh? Maybe what I can do is tab container. Maybe just tabs. Oh, did this change? That's why they look so bad. Editor theme. Give me tabs. Tab container odd? Question mark. Import with data. Give me these. Import selected. Yeah. Okay, now it looks more normal. Or maybe I should just be doing this. So we go into trying to do a little prototype RPG game and see with Raylib. Are you using Raylib's demo project? Like the complete RPG base? Don't worry, I'm well informed on the comings and goings of Raylib. I was there. Pop-up dialogue. Just grab these one at a time. Spin box, don't really need that. Text edit, tree. Shader editor, don't need that. Window, did I grab? Oh, okay, I was thinking that there wasn't quite enough things here, but we can just re-import everything. File dialog. I guess everything with an icon I should be importing, huh? Besides asset lib. How about that demo thing with Raylib? No? Okay. You know, there's no shame in basing your code off of a demo. I think that's how most people actually do their development. I mean, that's how I do my development, is I look at the example and I just take what I need. Because it's just more efficient that way. It just makes more sense. Alright, it took a little bit. Something seems weird about this now. Now it takes forever to load in. Shouldn't this be like ultra snappy? Hold on. Give me a new resource. Give me a new theme resource. And then we will manage items. We'll just grab the editor theme and then take out whatever we don't need. Don't import this. No box container. Most of these we don't need. We'll just do this again. And I'm happy that I made 2 games this year. Yeah, I'm happy for you as well. You made a pretty significant progress in your game dev journey for sure. You know, actually committing to a framework and/or engine and then finishing it. It's an accomplishment in and of itself. for sure. Because for a lot of people, it's just easier to for a lot of people, it's easier just to not do it, right? Just to keep flipping, etc., etc. Never settling, and then thus being able to keep kicking the idea of making a game farther and farther down the road. It was my New Year's goal to make a game, but it came true. Nice. I'm gonna try to do a terminal-based thing next, maybe. Isn't that like it's like a regression? Terminal-based stuff is how most people start, and then they move on to like a real game dev project. So we're looking for some sort of VBox. Well, some sort of HBox container, I think. So I'm looking at doing these things that I just kind of have listed here, pushed off to the bottom of my screen now. Vim-based key binding thing or clone of Vim. I think that's actually something that's somewhat difficult to do. I've seen a few projects where people try to re-implement Vim, and it's actually somewhat difficult. For whatever reason, I don't really know why. I haven't really looked into it myself. All I know is that people tend to fail at it. Probably because Vim is... like, actually, like, re-implementing Vim is hard. Not sure. Someone made in Zig. I want to try another language. Zig is a good language for sure. It's an interesting one at the very least. A language with no hidden control flow, which is cool. It's definitely neat at the very least. Project item, so this will be some sort of HBox container, and then we'll have some sort of, I don't know, I guess I'll need to find like a little star, or maybe I can just make a little star myself. But this will be probably a texture rect. So texture rect, so this will be favorite texture. We'll make just another texture rect, which is the project icon. Icon. Bleep bloop. Oh, hello, Zeniri. Sounds like a Genshin Impact character. Zeniri. Oh, Zeniri. Runs with scenery. See, I read your message right to left. I'm sorry. Scenery. That's fine. Thank you. I'm glad I have your permission to blasphemize your name. Everything's fine. Is that like a reference to Hit 2009 meme of random dog sitting in chair while everything else is on fire? It's a pretty good one. VBox container. I don't really understand these things, I gotta be honest. I miss the Godot 4 way of having access to all of this stuff. Now I find that if you want to like set offsets and stuff, it feels like you have to like do it via code, which seems like a regression in my opinion. I didn't realize my name was a cult. Can be what you want it to be. Nice. How are you? Usually I'm working on the VTuber program, VPupper. But I was already kind of working on this earlier. So it's a good opportunity to play with Godot 4 again. I've poked at Godot 4 for a while now. So like, I think like August last year, Not even August last year. When was the last time I wrote my GD Lisp thing? Because I did write a programming language in GD scripts. And I actually have this. Let me see. Yeah, June 8th, actually. I ported my programming language to Godot 4, and that was hugely painful. Yeah, more than a year ago. But now, Godot 4 seems pretty okay. I would like to point out, I don't know who it was, but they were getting really irate in chats when I was saying that, you know, we're unlikely to get an alpha before like the end of 2021, and I was totally right. And then beta is going to take forever as well. So once beta starts, I'm really going to start thinking about moving a lot of my stuff over to Godot. This is, I don't remember. This is some commits after Alpha 14 because I compile all my own builds in Godot, mostly out of necessity. All right, so this should be probably a label, probably a rich text label if we're being honest. So it can be bold. So layout, container sizing, yeah, sure, why not? And then this one needs to be, we'll just make it a label, that's fine. A smaller label. So this is the project name, and then this is project path. Something like that. Label. Not sure what that means, but I 100% agree. Yeah, if you actually look at the Godot source for how the project manager is implemented, it's actually implemented like entirely via code, which is fine. I mean, it's C++, right? But it's tough. It's tough. Sometimes I'll implement things entirely via code, but if I can avoid it, like especially for this UI design stuff, that's where having an editor is nice. Really understand how these control nodes work, which is a huge improvement from a few months ago where I had zero idea. That's fair enough. I think Godot 4, you just need to relearn it. The biggest thing is that you want to use anchors more than you want to use offsets, which is good, at least in Godot 4, because they no longer expose the offsets to you. Like the offsets are a trap. You actually want to use anchors. But sometimes there are times when you want to use offsets, but now you no longer have easy access to them, which is a huge pain. So let me see. I can grab all this stuff. So project name, some sort of string. Put these both as strings. I'm gonna be a little bit lower energy than usual because I'm not standing up. Whenever I'm talking or whenever I have to talk for extended periods of time, I usually actually like stand up and pace. But I rolled my ankle like 2 weeks ago and it's still super duper messed up because I thought I got better after like 3 days of resting, and let me tell you, that was a huge mistake. Well, it's not that I rolled my ankle really, it's more that like I landed on it wrong when I was going for a run. Tried to pivot around a rock that I saw. So instead of like running like a normal person, I like scooched off of the sensor. Stand up for your rights. Maybe I'll just sit down for my rights instead. So here, project name, we'll grab this. It's a Bob Marley song. I'm sorry, I don't really know that many Bob Marley songs. I apologize. BB code enabled. How do I use BB code in rich text labels? Like, it's actually kind of weird, right? Like, I'm pretty okay at trivia if we're talking about general knowledge, but I don't know, like, any music trivia. Like, celebrity trivia, I don't know that much about. Movie trivia, I'm okay at. Music trivia, I'm almost completely useless at. But if we're talking about, like, pretty much anything other than that, I'm okay. But the problem with that is that most trivia is about, like, movie and music and celebrity. It's like, this isn't really, like, this is like pop culture trivia, which I'm really bad at. Really know anything about music, so I can sit with this. I don't know anything about music, celebrity, sports trivia. I know almost nothing. Just tiny random factoids. Like the genus name of a crow. It's a corvid. I can do sports factoids. I'm not the greatest at it, but as long as it's an American sports, I can probably speak to it. I'm not super good at it. Like anything having to do with soccer, or as they say in Europe, football. I don't know. There's Real Madrid. There's Arsenal. That's about it. I don't know. There's Ronaldo, or as sometimes I get it wrong as Ralph Talia, which is like completely different. That is absolutely not his name. That's might be the opposite of being Ronaldo. I do sports, by far the one I know the least about. Actively leaves my brain like it's putty in a sieve. Pen text. So no, so you can't close a tag. Append the text instead of using append text. What does this mean? Append text. And I guess we can do. Oh, geez. No, that Mark Controller was a guy who did baseball and basketball. Michael Jordan was a very famous basketball player who could also, I think he did play a little bit of baseball. Because he reached the apex of basketball skill and then afterwards just got bored. I don't remember if it was it baseball? Yeah, he might have heard of Air Jordans. Did he play baseball? Or was it football? Oh, it was baseball. Yeah, you're right. Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, Wayne Gretzky, very famous Canadian hockey player. I don't know that much about hockey, gonna be honest. If only because hockey isn't very popular here in the States. Also in Space Jam, that's true. He's also like renowned for being kind of a dick. And by kind of a dick, I mean like a huge asshole. Sorry. I try not to curse on stream. Wayne Gretzky, because I met him when I was in the hospital in intensive care as a child. Really? You met Wayne Gretzky? He's like really famous. That's actually pretty impressive. Did you shake his hand? And did you then proceed to never wash that hand ever again? In classic SpongeBob fashion. Alright, so here we will need to pass. You know what? I'm actually kind of tempted to do this in kind of the Godot way. So Godot doesn't actually. You know what? All right, let's do this in the Godot way. All right. So then this is now invalid. right, we're gonna do this in the Godot way, in which we don't use a text scene, because with text scenes, you're not actually allowed to pass parameters. But I think it would help here to be able to pass parameters, because now I know what the thing is gonna look like, right? It's gonna look like this. It's pretty pretty simple. You did a meet and greet thing with kids in the IC. We chatted for like 5 minutes. I was like 7. We catch up with them. I barely remember it. Well, you know, I mean, you were a kid and you were in like intensive care, so it's totally understandable. You know, I mean, he is like pretty rich, so I'm guessing he doesn't really care that much. I think actually we only need to pass in the project path, and then I can parse the rest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can just parse the rest, because looking at how Godot does it, it gives you the containing directory, and then after that, I can just parse the project.godot file. Yeah. So we go to dev, and we can, yeah, let's look at, let's look at vpupper's project.godot file. So I just need to parse something like this, or possibly something like, sometimes you engine. Let's ignore that. I may or may not be writing a game engine on the side. Config version 5. So if it's config version 5, we can assume it's Godot 4. Otherwise, 4 and below is Godot 3. First as I was walking after my accident. Well, you know, I'm glad that you're able to walk again, probably. Assuming that you got better. If not, well, at least you got to meet Wayne Gretzky. Canadian hero. Say texture. Texture rect. No. So we'll need to grab this stuff. And also the project icon. I'm gonna delete this text scene later, but for now, texture. Yeah, I got better. Alright. Well, you know, you never know. It's like the first days I was walking, and then after that I fell down 3 flights of stairs. And now, here I am. Now I live inside of a test tube. Lots of injuries, was bedridden for 2 days, got muscle atrophy because of it. After 3 months I was mostly better. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's not really a laughing matter. I don't know why I laughed. I apologize as well. I don't know. I'm fortunate enough to never really have, I don't know, experienced something like that. If only because I'm a huge shut-in. It was a nervous laugh, no offense taken. All right, well, I'm glad you were able to interpret it. Because the dirty little secret is that all my laughter is nervous laughter. It's a favorite icon, all of this stuff, and then this needs to be expand fill. So vbox h. Well, is it called? What is it called now? I know it's changed. I just don't know what it's changed to. It's a tactic of socializing. I get it. Yeah. There we go. Size flags horizontal. Yeah, people like people who laugh, even though, I don't know, it may or may not be genuine. Something that you try to force yourself to, I don't know, perpetuate? Is that a good word for it? Probably not. Size, expand, fill. Well, that's size flags horizontal. No, it's not horizontal. We want vertical. No, we want horizontal. Like people who seem happy, I think is the way it is. Yeah, and I suppose lots of people can't tell the difference between normal laughter and nervous laughter. So if you're able to distinguish, you're already ahead of the curve. Game I worked on is getting a remake later this year. Nice, 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 nice. Gonna be its first anniversary too. Is it that one Toho fan game that you were posting about before? Gunny Bunny. You know, not the name I would have chosen, but it does have a nice symmetry to it, so you can't fault it too hard, or too much, I should say. Text label. Budget path label. No, it's a game I did art for a year ago on Newgrounds. That's still something that totally blows my mind, is that Newgrounds is still around. Please, I desire autocomplete. Project name label. So this is size flags vertical. I forget this psychology term for it, but one of the people who, the super intuitive feeler people who can pick up people's emotions even if they're subtle. You are a sensitive soul searching for meaning in this cold, dark universe. Doesn't that just mean that you're sensitive? I don't know. I think it's arguably better to be like extraordinarily insensitive. Right? Like the most insensitive people are, you know, psychopaths, right? And those tend to be the people who are in the highest positions in society. So depending on how you ask, being more sensitive is actually a detriment. Not to like attack you or anything. After you posted that, but on Newgrounds I'm like, yeah. So like a website like 4chan, old Newgrounds theme. I don't know if you want to make a website like 4chan, which is like a huge cesspool for the most part. Like, does 4chan have moderators? Technically. I don't know. Like, 4chan is mostly just for, like, edgy teenagers. Right? And for people who want to blend in and not be noticed. Right? Like, it's the Tor concept, right? So you want to... So Tor only works because it has a bunch of, like, total degenerates on it. So that... like people who actually need to use Tor in order to be anonymous can hide on Tor. And that's kind of the same idea behind 4chan, is that 4chan is mostly just a bunch of degenerates. There's not anyone like that's ultra smart on it, but that does enable the people who are actually like the movers and shakers, right, who need to blend in. That enables them to hide in plain sight, essentially. So, you know. Better for the individual, it's actively bad for the community. Oh yeah, for sure. 4chan's demographics is like 24 to 30-year-olds now. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think. All this like anonymous stuff only works because it's just filled with trash, right? So it's not something that you should like look up to or like even strive to do. Right? Like if you know what you're doing, you don't. Well, I mean, in Tor's case, you don't really need. Or if you're not doing anything like illegal, you don't need to be on those websites. Or Tor, I suppose. Well, Tor is not illegal. It is technically illegal if you are accessing Tor, speaking out against an authoritarian government. Yeah, that's the word. But in the US, you don't really need to use Tor. And also, like, those things aren't like completely safe either, right? Because of how Tor works, it's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a liability, right? Like you can still be tracked on Tor. What am I looking for? As long as you control one of the exit nodes, you can track somebody via Tor. They're not. It's better than relying on the systems the authorities build? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Then the only question is it worth it to dissent, etc., etc., and then we get into uncomfortable questions of control and free will, freedom of speech, etc. I'm not really super keen on voicing my views on, because I realize that my views on that may or may not be a bit suspect. But that's fine. Project.Godot. Right? It's called Project.Godot, not Godot Project. Project.Godot, that's right. So if not, file exists. Yeah. Because unfortunately, right, the big thing like I'm one of the people out there that does actually super benefit from government corruption, unfortunately. Not like directly, but or I guess bureaucratic corruption, because that's kind of my job, right? Like, what do I do all day? I don't really know, honestly. Like, I do whatever they tell me to do, which is mostly just poke other people to do stuff. And then say, like, yeah, I'm blocked. Sorry. I'm pretty sure I'm less in China because I've spoken ill at the CCP online. Oh, yeah. I mean, most people. If you've ever posted on a public forum talking about Mr. Winnie the Pooh, you are probably on a list. I know that I've been advised not to go back to Hong Kong to visit any of the family I barely even know because of the yellow umbrella protests. You know, because it's also one of those things, you don't hear about it too much in Western news, but after those big anti-CCP protests in Hong Kong, there was a string of suicides where the individual cut themselves in half and then threw themselves off the side of a building. So, you know, it's very normal way to off yourself. Definitely no foul play at work whatsoever. I too have considered just cutting myself in half and throwing myself off the side of a building in 2 pieces. That was sarcasm. For legal reasons, that was a joke, or I guess sarcasm. It's not very funny. So, yeah, it's like I don't want to be abducted. Because especially in like rural areas of China, of which there are a lot. Like, people like to think of China as like it's one big metropolis, but that's actually more of like a Japanese thing. But even then, in Japan, they do have a ton of rural areas. But yeah, it's in the more rural areas, it's where you don't really have a. And this is as far as I understand it from people who actually live there. but it's the justice system doesn't really exist. It's close to how, you know, like Judge Dredd in that universe works, where the police are the judge, jury, and executioner. So if you are a murderer, you don't get a trial. I'm sorry. You just get shot on the spot. Especially in the western provinces. Or like in the weird in-between regions in central China. Because those are all controlled by the Chinese military as well, the PLA. So what am I looking for? Or if you're a Uyghur, yeah, well... Unfortunately, Western companies don't really care about those marginalized groups anyways. Return the torment and distract you. Oh, good. I'm doing some Godot 4 stuff. I'm not using like any Godot 4 features though at this point, but maybe one day. We're getting to it. I'm just thinking about the best way to handle this right now. So project name label, because this is actually how Godot handles this, kind of handles this internally. So let's see if I can make this work. I thank you very much for the host. But yeah, pretty much before like 2017, I was like, please, I would like to, or before like 2019, I guess, I was like, please send me to China, or as like an expat. I have the qualifications. But now it's like, please don't do it. You're gonna kill me. Or like send me to Hong Kong as an expat. I know that expat, I didn't realize actually, but now I know that expat is kind of a loaded term. Because it's usually used to refer to like a Caucasian individual being sent abroad to work in a non-majority Caucasian society. But surprise, I would still be considered an expat, so I guess it's more of just like a Westerner going abroad. Even though like I know people who are expats in the UK, but whatever. Dirty Westerners? Oh yeah, dirty Westerners. Being sent abroad at the whim of your company. Like actually, like my people manager at work, I don't think it was it might have been, I'm looking for a better term, but the only word that's coming to mind is consensual, but he didn't want to be sent abroad to the UK to work, but now he has to take, you know, his spouse and 3 kids to the UK. Dirty Westerners and all their dirty money, yeah. Well, fortunately, especially if you are based out of the US or from the US, your dirty money is accepted everywhere. Which is one of the few benefits, or not one of the few benefits, one of the many benefits of being born in the US. Is that, you know, kind of have world domination, you know, easy, no problem. All right, so projects. So let's see. Let's do like a really quick scan of, I mean, like my home directory, I guess. Or even this, we can do scan. Like hit this with a to do testing, right? Hold on. Then we need to grab project. Project item can go away. Say goodbye. Now we just have the scripts. It's alright, because the US has monopoly on trade security. Yeah. And also power projection, so everyone takes the US dollar. And everything is tagged to the US dollar, right? Like most currency around the world is fiat, right? So it's not based off of gold. It's given value just because it has value. Because it has the backing of a big country, which is, I don't know, I don't really have a big opinion on that. I think it's better to tag something to like an actual resource, like a physical resource, rather than the idea that if you don't pay your debts, the US is going to invade your country. But, you know, I don't make the rules. So let's see. Anyways, what was I talking about? Let's see. Var directory. Yeah. I'm not really in a position to criticize though, because I do benefit from it. Directory open. So let's do project settings, globalize, path, res, and then we'll actually break out of our current directory just to scan the directory outside of it. It's kind of weird, but as I say just constantly is that Godot is not sandboxed. Although people like to believe it is for whatever reason. Batman. Batman, Turkey, my favorite city. I have seen every single internet historian video. There are attempts to peg other currencies to the yuan, mid-2010, so that's all gone. Chinese economy is going down in flames. Yeah. And then they unfortunately can't do the US thing, right? And just print more money because no one takes, you know, RMB anymore. Or people take RMB, but they don't tag their currencies to their RMB. Chinese yuan. I actually don't know what it's supposed to be called. Is it called the yuan or is it RMB? I always, like, my dad calls it RMB. Is it the Chinese RMB or yuan? Oh, it's the renminbi. It's hot topic these days for many reasons. Not only does it supply the state of the world's biggest economic superpowers, but it's also central to one of the most debated issues involving China today. It's perceived mercantilist policy of artificial this is wrong. Undervaluating of the artificial undervaluation of its currency against the US dollar to give its exports an unfair price advantage. This is true. And the people's RMB. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so it's the official currency as RMB, but the yuan is the unit of accounts. Really? I actually don't know. I'm still not picking up any. Yeah, I thought they were equivalent. See, now here they use it in a different context. So it says the RMB is one of the top five most used currencies in addition to the US dollar, euro, yen, and British pound. In 2022, the IMF increased the weight of the yuan. In the same paragraph, they use RMB and yuan. I don't know. I actually don't know. Because it used to be the Hong Kong dollar was, HKD was also a separate currency, but I don't know anymore. I don't know. What a strange situation. Either way, it's about to be completely worthless. So it's the same thing. Yeah. I think it's more like if you know, you know, right? So if you use RMB, then you know. Otherwise, like, I guess you're a normie. So just don't be a normie, forehead. To read. to open path to read directory. Yeah. Is equal to project settings globalize path. So we'll take the resource directory and then just escape outside of it. We have not equals. Autocomplete to the actual not equal sign. Is that default? Yep, it's default. It's actually pretty cool. Seems like a very minor thing to like that seems like a nice to have feature, but you know, it was there. It's actually been there for a while. I don't know why they included it though. Unable to read when there's so many other things, unless it was just like a really easy inclusion, which I can believe. They must have done a lot of, I don't know, enhancements on rendering in Godot, or maybe it's just because of the new ligatures they're using. Because I think the font is slightly different now in comparison to Godot 3. So file equal to. So while file is not, so while not file empty is empty, so we'll do get next, right? And then we just need to do list directory begin. So while not file is empty, then we need to check to see what it is. So we'll do if directory is, wait, hold on. I know there's a way for you to check. What is it called? Is directory? Current is directory, that's right. If current is directory, or if not current is directory, then we'll just do continue. And also need to do file is equal to during get next. Something like that. So this is all for like a project manager. I'm just rewriting it in Godot for it just to test it out. And also because I need something to test my project, or not my project manager, my package manager. The package manager is meant for the project manager. So that it uses npm. Unfortunately, it's a bit cumbersome to use right now, but that's what the project manager is supposed to solve, is that it provides it for you. So you can insert plugins and whatnot. You can use project templates, etc. So I find project templates to be very useful. And then the ability to insert plugins as well is also pretty nice. Alright, so for now, we'll just print, I guess. That's fine. Print file. I think after that, yeah. You don't technically need to do list directory end, but it's always nice to clean up. Takes a little bit to load in, but that's fine. So I don't know. Scan me? Yeah, okay, cool. So everything's there, and then we just need to check against, or check to see if they have a project.godot file. So if directory file exists, oh, but you don't actually have the full file path, but you do have the scan path. So you can do project.godot, So if not, directory file exists, this thing, and then we'll just do a little bit of string formatting, scan path, file, and then we're looking for our project.godot. So file is equal to dir get next, and then continue. I feel like there's a better way of doing this instead of having to do file dir next. I got movement working. Nice. In Raylib. You're using Raylib just with the C? Not, I was about to say the C bindings, but no, it's written in C. So it's not binding to anything. Yeah, okay. Oh no, I tried to work a little bit more with C on one of my side projects. I just don't care enough to write C. I think it's too clunky. And with Linux, the Linux kernel 6.0 is adding more and more Rust stuff. So I don't know. I think if I'm going to be writing low-level code, it's either going to be C++ or Rust. Anything else is just like, I don't know. Like I'd rather just use like Java or something, or C#. Java, C#, Python. We're doing low level, just use Rust or C++. Alright, so there. Want to try to use Rust? Yeah, Rust is nice, for sure. It ensures correctness. Well, correctness in terms of memory management, which is the big thing. So project path is equal to So here's your scan. This is your project path, and then we'll just simplify this down. So that's your project path, and then this is actually what we're going to be passing to our project item. Yeah. So projects, project paths, plural. Yeah, I think Rust is one of those languages though that is like extremely punishing if you are if you don't like to read, which is describes me perfectly. And also if you're not, I guess, on top of memory management, or if you tend to do very dangerous things with your code, which is also tends to be me. Sometimes, not all the time. Project path. All right, so this, I think you can static type this like this, string like that. Yeah, so you only get static typing for arrays. You don't get static typing for dictionaries, which is unfortunate. What I got right now? Nice, nice. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. I thought you were doing like the entire, like the super psycho thing where you put your headers in a different directory from your implementation code. So I see projects like that sometimes, and I'm like, what the heck is this? They only got like the C implementations, no headers. But no, they actually put their headers in like an interior include directory, which is just mind-boggling. Why not just just do it like everyone else? Put your headers right next to your C files. So okay, you escaped this time, Needle Mouse. You live to be flamed another day. All right, so project paths, blah blah, and then for p in project paths, We'll then do project item is equal to preload this thing. So I can't believe I'm using Emacs. Was it Emacs? I guess that is Emacs, huh? Oh, it's, I don't know. Probably Emacs, yeah. Not a huge fan of Emacs, but you can use what you want. That would be a phase. Yeah, I don't know. Emacs just hurts my hands to use. And also, like, my keyboard is not conducive to using Emacs anymore. Since now I use a happy hacking keyboard, which is uses the old Apple II layouts, which is just, you know, a little tough, a little tough to use. All right, so projects. All right, so project item is equal to project item new p. Actually, we can just do projects, add child, all of this stuff. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me with Emacs is that it relies a lot on like control anything, right? Or alt anything or super anything. Whereas Vim, I like how Vim does it a lot better. So you can just go back to the, what is it, command mode? That's what it's called. Is it control mode or command mode? Command mode, right? And then just press like a key and then you execute something, which I think it just makes a lot more sense to me. Because why does everything need to be like 2 button presses? Why can't we just have 1 button press and switch between modes? That's just like a difference in philosophy, I suppose. All right, so we go here. It takes a little bit to load in, but that's fine. Scan, and then yeah, there we go. It's kind of ugly, for sure. Kind of ugly. It's the same thing my parents said about me, so I'm very familiar. Oh, you know what? This needs to be a scroll container. That's why it looks so scuffed. Scroll container. So projects. No button. Where's delete? So this is, just call it list. We'll call this projects. See, we want to save money to get a PC and tired looking at a laptop screen, like the bigger room. Yeah, or you could just buy like a bigger monitor, right? Like, I know the pain. As I've mentioned like about 1 million times, I used the Chromebook for all my programming stuff in university. And it only had, what was it, like an 11-inch screen? It was still a very good laptop. But, you know, as long as you can connect to a bigger monitor, you don't really need to worry about any of that stuff. The keybinds to be very productive, even though my 5 fingers deployment takes like half the time. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to using a normal layout again, as opposed to my ortholinear layout. And also sometimes you'll just see me do this because I'm resting my fingers on the keys. Because these keys have a button press of 45 grams, whereas I'm used to like a button press of 55 to 60. Sometimes even 65. Because I type very lightly, but I also like to rest my fingers, or like pretty much my entire hand on the keyboard as well, which is somewhat uncommon. All right, press scan. It's scuffed. So this we need to, I guess this is fine. Container sizing, sure. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But this one needs to, no, this one's also correct. What the heck is this? use the TV as my second monitor, but I wouldn't say it's good as a main monitor. My dad uses a 55-inch TV as his main monitor. I also used to use a 55-inch TV, or like a 40-inch TV as my main monitor. But now I just use a very fancy LG 4K monitor. After using a laptop for streaming for like a year. No, I like this emote a lot, actually. I like this one. Look at this. That's not my emotes. That's like a big streamer's emote. I'm a big fan of it. A big fan of it. All right, so this should maybe not work. Hold on. Why does this seem so scuffed? So do I need to do it like that? Okay, so now I just need to figure out why this is not displaying things properly. So what's up with this? Why is this so weird? What the heck is this? Do I need to have like a minimum size? Project item. Texture rect. No, rich text label. Auto wrap. Clip contents. No. I have a curved Samsung monitor and a smart TV. Small one. I'll be honest, I've never really understood the appeal of a curved monitor. Maybe it's nicer, but like I don't sit close enough to my monitor for that to make a difference. Fits content heights. I don't know. I guess fit content height. Maybe I need that. It says that it is deprecated, but whatever. I assume that this would be taken out. I think actually in Godot 3 it says it will be taken out in Godot 4, but that's not true. Because it's still here. So scan. Alright. I think that looks okay. Now we just need to load in. We need to parse the project.godot file, which is somewhere. It's here. Okay. So we can parse it here. I want to get those old school blocky monitors. You absolutely do not want to get a CRT. Have you ever lifted even like a 20-inch CRT monitor? Those things are heavy. They're heavy. I guess they look kind of cool, but you can get the same effects by like using a filter. If people have made those kind of monitors, but just a little monitors like the Screen Text or something. I mean, yeah, you probably can buy. Actually, you don't even need to buy, right? Like you can just ask like one of your older neighbors, if you have one of those, like, hey, do you have any computer monitors you don't want? And they'll probably just give it to you, because you know that you're not supposed to throw out a CRT. Yeah, I bought from like Goodwill, and you know, congrats on outing that you're from the US, I guess. But like my brother and I, when we were really into Melee, we went to Goodwill, bought like a 40-inch CRT for like $10. Yeah. And let me tell you, you needed 2 people to pick that thing up. It's heavy. And you're not supposed to throw them away, because actually the electron beam emitter thing inside of it is like very dangerous. Like you're not supposed to throw them away. Right, because if you break a CRT and then touch the electron beam emitter, I think you can get electrocuted, even though it's not plugged into anything, because they remain electrically charged for a little bit. I don't know if I remember watching Wreck-It Ralph on it before. No, I don't think those things are worth it. Like you need to pay people to take those from you, for the most part. All right, so then we can do split project Godot is, let's do file get as text splits on new lines. Okay. So now we're just looking for certain things. What's the regex for this? I'm sure I could do this with regex. What are the regex? Regex tester, regex, is it regex 101 or is it regexer? I'm pretty sure it's regexer. So what we're looking for, God, I'm not good at regex. I hate regex. Oh, you know what? I wrote a regex thing before. Hold on. Where is it? GD script verbal expressions. Oh, baby. I get to use my own tool for once. You know, I've just kind of realized that the color scheme I went for is the color scheme on this page is kind of the trans color scheme. Just an observation. That's something I didn't really think about. Well, let me see. Search string. So we're looking for that config version. Oh, I guess I can't paste. Well, okay. Config version. So then we'll also have new lines here. Hello. Config version. I don't know. And then we're also looking for config name is equal to my name. Config features. ISDF. All right. So then let's see. Start of line, then config version, and then we're looking for just a number. So start of line, then, and then this will actually give me the raw regex, which is why I'm using this right now. Config version equal. And then we want to capture everything up until the end of the line. So can I compile? Search. No matches found. All right, well. And then anything, okay. Anything but space. Something like that. I think that'll work. Compiled successfully. No matches found. How do I do captures? I wrote this before. So if I go to vertical screen, I'm not very good at regex, by the way. I might have mentioned this in the past 5 minutes. Let me see. I did write some tests. So what are we looking for? What are we looking for? What's the API look like? Verbal expressions. Or do I need to add an explicit capture? So, like, is there a capture? I don't need to have a named capture, right? I just need to capture something. Right. Yeah, okay. Named capture, don't need it. I just need to find... what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Digits. I don't know, digit? Yep. What the heck? What did I press? Digits. Something like that, maybe. That compiles. No matches found. Excellent. Hold on. Run me again. So this compiles and runs, and it's able to find this. Because then I use whatever this compiles down to. Build results, compile. Yeah, because this, this is just a regex, yeah. So what made you decide to make your own VTubing app? So I've told this story before on stream, but let's tell it again because it's easy for me to think about. So I was looking at the top earners on YouTube for just like streaming, right? Or I saw a news article on it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Here are the top earners, and the article was talking about like 3 out of the top 5 earners for, you know, YouTube live streamers or VTubers. And I was like, wait, what? Really? I mean, number 1 was still like a real person, but 3 of them were VTubers, and I was like, that's no way. Looked it up. Yeah, they do have a lot of subscribers. Tune into some of their streams. It's just like a regular stream, except like with a virtual character, and then people are just throwing money at them. I was like, that's not even a real girl, man. What the heck? So how do they do it? Right? I'm interested, but most of the software out there isn't free and open source, so you can't see how they do it. So, you know, decided just to make my own. It was just more like a technical curiosity, but because I wasn't able to find anything like that, I decided to make my own. And of course now there's a lot more choices, but you know, whatever. Should this be any? Should this be any? Because I think this will... How do I extract? I need to extract something. Or I guess if we go here, I can change how the search string works, and then I can remember how I programmed this. Yeah, okay. That's really cool. No, you. Yeah, my reasoning was mostly just, yeah. How does this work? That's why, like, I've been spending so much time on the rewrites. Is because initially it was just to satisfy my own curiosity, and then people are like, oh, that's cool. Let's start trying to use it. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we're in it now. We accidentally fell into the world of VTubing. Because before, when I was streaming, I never used a model. Just like a... At most, I would just have the Godot face in the corner. This is smoke test. Start of line A. Start of line, then config version, digits, end of line build. So this compiles, but then we don't find any searches. So if we go to regexer, slap this in there. Nope, not that. Oh, come on. Come on. All right. So this is an error in how I've configured this web build. So now I just have to type it in myself. pretty sick emote, the Uno reverse. Isn't that covered by copyright or no? Any digits. End of line. So this non-capturing group, oh, this needs to be a capture group. Groups multiple tokens together without creating a capture, but I do need a capture group. Right? And then we can do hello. Config version equals 5. So I want to capture that. Didn't know that. They're not my emotes and they were approved by Twitch. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm pretty sure Twitch just scans for like nudity, right? And then after that, they don't really care. Really? Do I not want to do like start of line? Or should I be breaking these up into separate bits? Maybe I shouldn't be. Okay, so if I just take out start of line and end of line. Config version 5, sure. Okay. Well then what if I just want to capture... What if I just want to capture this ending bit? Is that not how that works? No? Or are capture groups, these are grouping groups. Character set matches any character in the set. How do I want to extract just the 5. I know there's a way to do it. Oh, and there's a lot of... Why does everyone have that weird seal dog thing? I feel like I see it a lot. Capture group. Maybe I just need this to be a capture group, an explicit capture group. Something like that. So I don't want to capture this. Groups multiple tokens together without creating a capture group. Sure. Or can't you do... Is that not how that works? Leave us a modified version of Pokemon called Popplio. Everyone likes it and make copies of it. See, that's a Pokemon like after my time. I'm not familiar. That's after my time. Reference. Find. Okay, hold on. Doesn't Godot have like a small reference for regex stuff? Compile. Search. You can find the pattern within the given text. Regex match, and then you can find that stuff. Okay. Oh, and then it gives you back that stuff. So everything here would be a capture, right? So then, no. No? Eh? Oh, because that, okay. Right. Sure. D plus. That's right. Group 0 is the default, and then we can process multiple results. Splitting a string using regex. I know what I want to do. I'm just too small-brained at this point to to figure out how to do it. So we can do capture, let's call it version, I guess, and then end capture, and capture. Something like that. Does that compile? Compile successfully. Config version 5? Absolutely not. But we can type it in and hope it's good enough. Version equals. So that's a non-capture group. And then here, then we have our capture group, right? Version. Something like that. And then there's your one match. I don't know what this means. Details. Sure. Creates a capturing group. How do I... I mean, how has your day been? It's been alright. Been on calls like all day, so... you know. Could be better, could be a lot worse. How are you? Was also just poking at Godot 4 earlier, so here we are, working with Godot 4 instead of doing the usual VTuber stuff. Even though, like, I just realized, even though I've had an iPad for a little bit, I said, oh, now I can do like the eye facial mocap stuff and test it myself instead of depending on other people who may or may not be there to actually test it. So, give it a try. Work calls? Oh yeah. Like, yeah, I don't stream as like a full-time gig. I think I would be out on the streets if I did that. I have a, regular job doing consulting. Well, I say consulting, and when I say consulting, I mean like corporate consulting. So I work for a company as an implementation consultant. Doing lots of open source, Linux stuff, blah, blah, blah. regex, compile this thing. Okay, and then we need to properly escape all the escape characters. Okay. Do you enjoy doing it or just doing it for the paycheck? It's mostly for the paycheck. You know, they got me in the classic golden handcuffs. Which is, fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. Yeah, because unfortunately, right, in my line of work, it's very, very common for younger people in my age group to quit pretty early on, right? I work in financial services, doing containers, app dev, infrastructure automation, pretty much everything really. But I would say like the average age of most consultants in, financial services is like 45. Like most people are like 45, late 40s, early 50s. So, and I'm still in my 20s. So it's been a long time since I've worked with anyone my age. Yeah, like I think I used to be I was like the youngest person in my organization, my business unit, for like 2 years. Then we got more consultants as people started to graduate from college again after COVID. Then they all quit. So I'm pretty sure I'm still one of the youngest people in the business unit, which is like hilarious, but also kind of really sad. Yeah, which is why they got the golden handcuffs on me, because they like, we can't lose like our only 20 something. We keep losing them. We can't keep losing them. It doesn't make any sense. Result get string. All right. Oh, this gives you a regex match. That's right. But yeah. Golden handcuffs are nice. It's just a shame that they got bought out. And now the stock price is now just fluctuating constantly. So now I gotta time it whenever I sell the stock. And also it's like one of those things where it's not graded vesting. It's just, well, actually, is it graded vesting? I learned about this when I was still in school, because that's one of the things in like employee compensation plans, which is very important, because I guess a lot of people in risk management, like HR is a form of risk management, I guess, right? Because if you lose too many human resources, that's a risk, of course. Forehead. Try to call a function on a null value. Okay. Really? Is that really true? All right. Give me another shot, coach. So scan me. 81 errors. Anonymous lambda file must be opened for use or is lacking read writes. Hey, where? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, that makes sense. If file open, hold on. What am I doing? Project Godot. Slap in the project path there. Project Godot path. File open, the same thing, because we do want to short circuit just in case it doesn't exist for whatever reason. We did ensure it was there, but you never know. Okay. And then here in projects, what we should do is project item is equal to project item new, and then if project item failed, then we need to am update status bad project Godot file at this path, something like that. So we'll just add this actual item there. Remember to return early, or not return, but keyboard, press the wrong sequence of keys. All right, continue. Oh. Project item queue free. That's right, that's right. Otherwise we'll leak. Okay, let's give that a try. Scan. Okay, look at that. Okay. It works. Hooray. I'm not an idiot. I mean, I might still be an idiot, but I at least figured this part out. Which is good enough for me. Alright, so does it work like this, though? Okay. So it's not the most efficient regex, but it'll be good enough. Yeah, that's not bad. Look, yeah. So we have taking this regex from here, which is verbal expressions. I wrote this. Well, I ported it from the regular verbal expression stuff into GD script, since I find regex to be utterly mind-blowing to write. If you are like an actual computer science person, this library is blasphemy, heresy, if you will. But I'm not. I studied business. Therefore, my ability to talk is unparalleled. Actually, it is paralleled. I'm about middle of the pack, really. But in my industry, it's unparalleled. The ability to be able to talk intelligently about a technical topic is actually somewhat uncommon. Yeah, because I like the reason why a lot of my meetings took basically forever, right? Was it was because I don't know that the some people just are not able to talk, which is kind of baffling considering that we're in consulting. So they'll take, like, we had a 30-minute meeting. The dude spent like half of it. Like, I was trying to talk. He kept cutting me off for whatever reason. And then stuttering through the rest. I was like, please, just let me do it. I can talk. It's like a casual interview where like the salespeople are just interviewing us. I can give them a rundown. Like, you're going way too deep into the weeds. Yeah, you're not able to say a single sentence without stuttering or saying well, like, you know. Which might be another reason for the golden handcuffs, but, you know. What do I know? I'm just a senior consultant. Alright, so we're looking for... It's not digits. I think we're looking for string. Is there a way to get string or word? Or I guess it's just gonna be any, huh? So this would be, instead of digit, we would be looking for config version. Oh, we're not looking for config version either. We're looking for config name. Compiled successfully. Config name. And then it didn't capture the rest of it, which is a little problem. Yeah, and I guess if you're interested in whatever the heck I'm using here, it is available on itch.io. I'm pretty sure this is the only one of its kind as well, because the other verbal expression stuff, you need to download it if you want to use it first, whereas I'm using a little GD script trickery in order to hot compile GD script code on the fly and then execute it, which is, you know, that's pretty cool. IMO. So let's see, regex. We can recompile. Well, maybe I shouldn't be like compiling and uncompiling regex like this. Maybe I should be doing this. So in the app manager, we'll just have these regexes be available. Yeah. Well, maybe they only need to be available here while we're parsing the project.godot files. Nah, we can just make it available in the app manager. That's fine. So I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to have a constant non-primitive. So we instead need to do it like this. So we'll have a config version regex, something like that. We'll have config name regex. And then we're also looking for, what else are we looking for? So we're looking for the config version, because the version is how we know whether or not this is a Godot 4 or Godot 3 project. I guess the config name. Yeah, the config name and the config icon, that's right. Config icon is the other one. So those are the three things that we need to search for. In theory, it would be easier just to, I don't know, just find the line. Like split the entire thing into lines and then just try to find it, but whatever. So config version regex, compile something. What are we compiling? This thing. Oh, that's not how you do it. All right, and then the config name regex, compile. So we're looking for, please, config name is equal to name, and then we're looking for some sort of capture group. What's any? What am I looking for? Just basically until the end of the line, I guess. So end of line, maybe? Any of Or you know what? That probably did not compile correctly. Even though it did say it compiled correctly, that's not right, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because this needs to go... Matches anything including empty strings. That's right. Maybe we just want anything? Oh, geez. Anything. So that compiles right. Okay, yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So that's dot star, and then that should give me everything I need. And then for the config icon regex, very similar. What are we looking for here? That's going to be path res model. So then once I find that, it needs to be transformed. So we take off the preceding res path and then insert the actual project path before that. Yeah, okay. So update status, and then we can do like finds, func finds config version given some project Godot string. And then I can use my custom result class, oh baby. So then we'll do config version regex search string. If regex match is null, I return. Well, I suppose we should just return a string, huh? Just so it's easier for people to read. Otherwise, we'll return regex match get. Let's get start. So it returns the starting position of the match within the source string. The starting position, oh, it's a starting position int, but here we just want to do get string. Default value of 0 for the whole pattern. Okay. Well, I think we can just do it like this. Oh, geez. Get string. That's a version. This one will be config icon. I'll just call it icon just for simplicity's sake. How nice. So that should be fine. These don't actually need to be in separate functions now that I'm thinking about it, because they're all the same, more or less. So we can do enum config item. So none. Always have a none enum just in case. So then version name and then icon, right? So none will always be a failure case. Config item. Item type is config item, and then the project Godot string. Let me see. I had a C problem having a variable added until someone pointed out I had to add a variable after the struct. OOP is ingrained in my brain. Don't think that's OOP. I think that's just like a quirk of how C works, isn't it? So if you want to define the struct inline, then you must like initialize it immediately like that, isn't it? Whereas if you just want to use the struct later, like you might want to construct it. Actually, I'm not sure. Ignore me. Structs in C are always kind of weird to me. I know there are times when you wouldn't want to put the name afterwards. I just don't remember when. OOP, you can add variables anywhere, while C and C++ you add it. That's not OOP. C++ is OOP, object oriented. So you have an object. Everything is an object. So you encapsulate functionality within something, right? Structs aren't OOP, but it's more like you define the struct in line. That's not. Yeah. Which can be OOP. But I don't think it's related to the concept of code organization at all. Let me see. Var regex is some sort of regex, right? And then we'll just do search term or group name. Yeah. Something like that. So then regex will be equal to config version regex config item. What did I call it? Name. Config name regex config item icon. And then I'll also need to do all the other requisite stuff. So the group name, this will be group name is equal to version, name, and icon. Icon. Let me see. Then we'll just do regex. Well, results var results regex match really, but match is already a reserved word. Is regex search project Godot string res is null. Update status invalid config item type. Okay. Then here, then we'll just do res get string group name. Yeah, that's not so bad. Find config item, and then now in project item, we can just do this. So we don't need to use the split anymore. We'll just do am find config item, am config item version, text, and then this is a string, so this will be version. If version is empty, failed true, and then just bail out. So this is let's call this config version. Config version, config name, text, and then we just need to do the same checks over and over again. A little tedious, but as I have said continuously, the slow part about programming isn't the typing parts. It's the logic part that is much harder. Right, because like conceptually, like what I'm trying to do is very easy, right? I just want something to manage your project for you. And then add the ability to select different editors based off of one, the ones that, you know, editors that you have configured, but two, also based off of the version of the Godot project. And then there's, you know, this still doesn't sound that difficult, but then once you get down to the implementation details, it's like, okay, how do we do that, right? How do we specifically do it? Which is a lot, you know, there's a lot of details. The devil's in the details, as they said, as they say. Lots of things that can go wrong. All right. So scan. Okay, look at that. So we're able to grab lots of stuff here. I guess I need to strip. I should strip the results as well. So strip edges. Yeah. Just in case, because it looks like some of these results are actually on multiple lines for whatever reason. All right, so now it makes a bit more sense. And then somewhat unintuitively, Godot 3 uses config version 4, and then Godot 4 uses config version 5. How strange. That's cool. So there's your regex. So then we can load in the icon. Favorite icon, that's to do, I need to grab like a star icon from somewhere. So grab star icon from somewhere. Project icon, I think I can do. So image new image load. Oh, look at that. They added other possibilities for loading stuff. All right, hold on. Image load. Okay, hold on. I guess we need to match against the file type of the config icon. Yeah. So we can do config icon extension here. Can't you get the extension from a string? Or is that not true? Get extension, 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 extension. Get extension. Get extension, yes. So match config icon get extension. That's right. And then, of course, remember to lower it. So there's PNG, and then I guess JPEG or JPEG with an E if you're a psycho. If you're twisted like that. WebP if you're a hipster. And then I guess bitmap, I don't know if that's even possible, but we're able to load it. Right, so we can do load bitmap, JPEG, PNG, TGA. What the heck is a TGA? Oh, and this is loaded from buffer. Oh, that's still probably fine. I don't know. Isn't there like a way to directly load from file? Oh, okay. We can just load from file and hope it's okay. Okay. So there's no special case for... Oh, this is a static. Okay, load from file. Yeah, that's probably fine. We can try that instead. So this... Oh, and Godot has finally has static functions. Proper static functions. That's cool. Something like that. And so this needs to be project path, and then the config icon. But we do need to trim prefix res like that. Yeah, something like that. No. Too many arguments. Oh, right. Because it needs to be done like this. Because we're formatting it. And then project icon texture. Okay, so texture, we do need to do it like var project icon texture is equal to a new, some sort of image texture, right? Image texture. So project icon texture. Create from image, and then we'll just use this, something like that. I think that makes sense. It's beautiful. Just one big mega line. And then project icon texture is equal to project icon texture. Something like that. And then we'll just do it all in one go. Then for the config name, we can do, where is it? Here. Just insert that there. Give that a go. Scan me. 228 errors. That's pretty good. I need to strip off the preceding and following quotes. But right now it's okay. What are the errors? Anonymous line. Error opening file. Oh, that's right. I need the... okay. So I need to strip the... For all of these, I need to strip the... whatchamacallits. So trim the... Or is it... Is it L strip? L strip this thingy, and then R strip this thingy. So we don't want to have any double quotes between these, which might help a little bit. Not always. I mean, it seemed to work. I don't know. There's no errors. It's displaying properly. The font is a bit small, but that might be because of the fact that I'm using a rich text label for this, which might not be the greatest of solutions. Projects. Okay. Ignore texture size. Good to know they haven't fixed the texture or the object ID problem yet. But why can't I see anything? Why can't I see anything? So we can keep the aspect ratio. This should be a happy path, which has it uses an icon, right? Like just the standard Godot icon. Maybe not. I mean, it was able to load everything in, presumably. Ignore texture size. Maybe not. Am I not allowed to do this? Oh. Okay, cool. So you are not able to change these. So what if we just make this... Oh, okay. Not allowed to manipulate those. Okay. Interesting. No, let's see. What does this give me? We're able to load stuff in properly. What does this give me? Because this is what we are directly loading in. Something that's kind of neat is that you're able to nest string formatting stuff, which I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do that, but... Alright, so loads all that stuff in, then jumps into the actual folder. Yeah, so we step back in. You're allowed to have an empty double one of these things. That's totally fine. Assets, icon.png, but then why doesn't the icon show up? It's curious. How very curious. So hbox. That's fine. Add me to the list here. Then we'll add a texture rect. Add another texture rect. Maybe I might need to... I don't know. Well, see, that loads in properly. That loads in properly, which means it must be something else. Right? If we add a VBox... No, that's fine, right? So this loads in right. But then none of these load in properly. What's going on here? That's my status bar. We don't care. Projects. And then it has a texture, and then this has a texture as well, but we don't care. Not able to inspect it, which is very unfortunate. But it says there is an object there, but I guess it just doesn't have anything loaded in for it. Right, because this is the one I manually put here, and that looks fine. Image load from file. So this gives you an image. Creates a new image and loads data from the specified file. Right. Loads an image from path. See image texture description for usage examples. So image, okay, so now they have something cool here. Oh, am I using this wrong? Create from image gives you an image texture. Ah, I see. Look at all these static methods. How fancy. Things that weren't available in Godot 4, and now I'm getting tripped up because I'm used to having to do the workarounds. Cool. Which means that I can just do this directly now. So there's your project icon, and then we just directly assign it like that. Okay. So scan. Hey, look at that. Easy. Now I just need to think. So I think you want to set the stretch mode to keep aspect. Keep aspect. Yeah, keep aspect. I guess they're not allowed to do that here. Yeah, okay. So I'll have to do this again. Aspect. What is it called? Texture rack. Stretch mode. That's right. Stretch mode is equal to something like that. I don't know. Let's give it a try. Scan me. Okay, look at that. Look at that. It's a bit small, but I'm going to just go ahead and blame that on high DPI mode. Okay, cool. And that's pretty much it. Then we just need to have the favorite icon, aka the texture rect. Well, this could be a texture button, but we'll get around to it. But then we have, okay, so we have the config name that's used, the config icon, which is also used, the config version, which is not currently used, but we'll get around to it. Yeah. Not so bad. Anyways, I've been trying to stay on schedule a lot more. But I'm going to go ahead and push this. If you want to take a look at it, it's not super duper fancy. Ignore this. This is the wrong thing. This is GDMP, which is Godot Media Pipe. So that's another tracking backend that I'm planning for virtual puppet project, VPupper. What a great name. I still think VPupper is a great name. I can't believe I came up with that. Because it's, you know, VPupper, VTuber, haha, but also VPupper. It has pupper in the name. Even though I guess, like, kids nowadays don't really say pupper anymore. Maybe they do. I'm so out of touch. So it has, unlike other projects, it has more potentiality for like a really cool mascot, you know what I'm saying? Echo Godot to your git ignore. Refactor for Godot 4. All right, there we go. So then we'll go to created 45 commits in 10 repositories. That's good. Let me see. Where is it? Godot Project manager. I can't find it. Oh, it's here. It says it's written in Rust, but that's a lie. Here it is. So it's not useful in any way, shape, or form, but might be interesting to look at if you're trying to get into, or you're trying to play with Godot for yourself. I am using a custom build that's built off of the most recent commit, or recent-ish commit of Godot 4, but it should still work in the most recent alpha, which I think is alpha 14. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you haven't given the channel a follow already, I highly encourage you to do so. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Wednesdays, which is today, from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a Discord if you want to talk or whatever, I don't know. Or if you have questions about any of my projects, which is probably what most people do. There's a GitHub where you can find the rest of my projects. I work on a bunch of Godot stuff. Sometimes I also do Rust or other things. So, surprise, surprise. I do happen to know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about programming. But just don't ask me any like really hard questions about, you know, data structures or whatnot, or search algorithms. Yeah. That's gonna be it for me for today. Yeah. Am I missing something? I'm not. All right. Take it easy. Goodbye.